Food banks across Toronto are seeing a huge surge in demand this Thanksgiving weekend. With me now to discuss more is Ryan Noble, the Executive Director of the North York Harvest Food Bank. Ryan, thank you for being here. Now, I know you and your team have been up and at it since this morning. What has the demand been like this Thanksgiving in comparison to previous years?
I mean, what we've seen is an increase in demand for several years now. And that's been going on for really, I think, since the start of the COVID pandemic. We saw a real spike in usage, and to be honest, it's never really receded. And so what we are is now is at record levels, and levels that we thought just a year or two ago were unheard of or were unimaginable. And it's unfortunately the reality that we find ourselves in today.
Do you find yourself able to keep up with the demand?
I mean, the short answer is no. I mean, what food banks are really a community response to what is a much broader societal problem with food insecurity and poverty. And so we're really in, not really designed to be dealing with the issues that we're seeing. We're not really a replacement for a robust social safety net. So we're constantly sort of scrambling and trying to make sure that we have the resources that we can to do whatever we can do to deal with the problem as best that we can. We work really hard as a team, as a team of volunteers, and as a community. And we're fortunate to have seen great support from our community, and we continue to require that support now.
Have things ever become so dire that you need to turn people away?
We don't turn people away. We do everything that we can. If somebody comes to one of our food spaces, or even somebody comes to our warehouse, we'll do what we can in the moment. We may refer someone to a more appropriate space, that's closer to their home or something like that. But we never turn anyone away. As I said, we are really a community response, literally neighbors helping neighbors. So that's the spirit that we bring to the work. We want to make sure that we can do whatever we can to support people who are struggling to put the very basic necessities of life on their table for themselves or for their family.
And Thanksgiving being a very important time, tell us about today's North York Harvest Food Sort.
So as I said, I mean, even in the dire sort of situation that we find ourselves in, what gives me hope is that food banks are neighbors. They're neighbors helping neighbors. They're real people doing whatever they can, as insufficient as that might be, to help people that they see. And now, 1 in 10 Torontonians turned to a food bank last year. So what that tells us is that, basically anybody who's hearing me right now is pretty close and likely knows somebody who is in need of support. And so what we've been doing this weekend is our family sorting activity. So a lot of food is coming in, a lot of great donations, and we're really appreciative for that. And so we have volunteers and a lot of families and with young children and whole families coming out and helping us to sort through that, and so that we can make sure that everything is of the right quality, get that into the right category, so that we can get it out to the community as soon as the next few days.
Now, our time is up, but quickly, are you able to tell us how folks can get involved?
I always ask people to get involved in the way that is most comfortable for them and is enjoyable and appropriate for their circumstances. So if you're in a position to make a donation of food, we're looking for things that are shelf stable, as universal as possible, things like canned seafood or beans, lentils, rice, cooking oil. Those are all good options, and you can make donations at most stores, grocery stores and fire halls all across Northern Toronto. If you're in a position to make a financial donation, we can certainly make dollars go further. We can take advantage of wholesale pricing and things like that. And we can use those funds throughout the year because obviously people need to eat all 12 months of the year. Or if you're in a position to come out and help us like we have groups here today doing through volunteering and donating your time or your skills in different ways, we can always make use of that. As I said, we're a community response, neighbors helping neighbors, and we want to help people to do the work that they can do to help others who are struggling right now.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Ryan, thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thanks, Renee.
Ryan Noble is the Executive Director of the North York Harvest.